Hello everyone, this is Taylor Edrington with Gorge Anglers, the oldest fly shop and guide service on the Arkansas River, celebrating our 25th anniversary, and only Orbis endorsed outfitter on the Arkansas corridor. Thanks so much for viewing. This is a report, an update on the Arkansas for fly fishing as we transition into a new season on the river. We have really seen some conditional elements change on the Arkansas, and we are now moving into what we term the fall season on the river. Fall season is, largely, our favorite time period on the Arkansas, and there's many reasons for that. The spring gets the hype. It's also obviously fantastic. Summer fishery is fantastic. We fish a lot during the winter as well. The Arkansas, for a reason, is the most popular river in the state of Colorado and 102 miles of gold medal water. But the fall is probably our favorite time period because productivity, fishability is very consistent. Access is consistent. Flows are down. Wading is very easy. It's the easiest you'll see it during the entire season. We're now out of that kind of monsoon time period, so clarity and fishability is consistent. Hatches are crazy. They're awesome. There's a lot of hatches out there right now. We'll talk about those. First, let's kind of feature the conditional elements that attribute to the change on the river. The most visible conditional element is the reduction in flows. As many of you may know that view our report, I do talk about the flow management program quite frequently, and the flow management program on the Arkansas is one of very few in North America that focuses on recreational aspects of the river. First and foremost, the fishery. During the summer, when it's warmer and we see water temps a bit warmer into the low 60s, mid 60s, we obviously like to augment flows, to keep the water column a little bit cooler. So we do have a mandated minimum of 700 CFS until August 15th. That also helps out recreational boating. So everybody kind of wins in the summer. After August 15th, we do see a reduction in flows out of our contributing tailwaters at Twin Lakes and Clear Creek Reservoir. And we typically see a reduction down below, sub 500 CFS. However, this year with the amount of water we've had throughout the season, our native flow from the headwater, the spring at the headwater of the Arkansas, is remaining fairly high. Got 400 CFS coming out of Leadville, which is all, of course, clean, clear water, and we're going to see that maintain, we believe, through the first few weeks of September. So we could see flows maintain just a hair above 500 CFS. Today they're just under 600 CFS. Really prime flow on the Arkansas River for wadeability, access, floating, etc. is between that 500 and 600 CFS mark. We love to wade it at 700, 800. The fishability is great, the fishing is great at that level, but as far as access is concerned, really 100% of your public access is there and very wadeable at 500 to 550 CFS, which we expect the river to maintain at that, around that flow until probably the first, maybe the second week of September, and then possibly gradually decrease from there. Typically we see the flow at around 400 CFS for brown trout spawning. That's kind of a goal for our, from our biologists for the most productive, level for our brown trout spawning in October. So typically we see the river at that level, and most likely we'll see it at 350 to 450 by October. But we expect great level here from here on out. Secondarily, as far as a conditional element, we see weather patterns change tremendously. We've already seen that in the last 3 to 4 days. We've seen a strong move away from monsoon type conditions with really hot weather and heavy rain in the afternoon to much cooler weather and drier weather. Short and long-term forecasts show cool and dry weather ahead, and that will definitely carry over to conditions on the Arkansas being very consistent, and fishability obviously at its highest level. Those two kind of conditional elements do change the river dramatically. We go from a summertime fishery to a fall fishery, and we've kind of seen that transition. And you can, that's very evident if you get on the water in the next few days. Also, we see a huge upturn in hatch activity within the red quill profile, as well as drakes, caddis. See a continuation of pale morning duns, a continuation of tricos, some stoneflies still flying around out there, yellow sallies, etc. But really just a lot of hatch activity in the fall. And what we find also is that fish remain very opportunistic feeders. In other words, if a fly gets in their zone, whether it's a big dry dropper, streamer, they're going to go after it. Fish are definitely in the mode of gaining calories in the last few weeks of August, September, because they, in the river being a 80+% brown trout fishery, these brown trout are trying to gain calories in anticipation of spawning in October and November. So, we see that continue through the month of September. That's why you can go out there and fish big Attractor Drives, still dry dropper, dry copper dropper, etc. Great hatches, great streamer fishing. Let's look at some patterns. Like I mentioned, fishing a lot of, red quill imitations, red-bodied attractors, still fishing tans, still fishing some sleeper colors like purple, nymphing a little bit. What we'll find is, or what you will find as an angler, and what our guides are focusing on, is fishing dry dropper, dry copper dropper in the mornings and late afternoon, evenings. Fish are much more prevalent in the pocket water, pocket water and edge water during that time period. They're definitely looking up more, and then they move into the broken water, tail outs, deeper oxygenated water in the midday time period. Fish do that this time of year. Still feeding heavily, and the difference between early August and late July is, whereas you would see a downturn in activity during that hot time period, as we move into the fall, and currently we're seeing fish eating heavily during that midday time period, but just a little bit deeper in more oxygenated water. So do focus on those structural aspects of, kind of where fish are holding throughout the day. As far as patterns are concerned, let's look at some big Attractor Drives to start. Like I said, red is a key color. Red chubby Chernobyl is a great fly. Red hippie stomper is one of our favorites. Really solid fly there. Tan, still a great color, and one last red before we move to tan. Jaeger's 409, great fly. These are all size, 8 to 14. Your tan-bodied black foam chubby, great fly as well. Like I said, purple is a sleeper color. Really like purple. It's the most visible color to fish in the light spectrum. Fishing that chubby and purple as well. And then also a lot of hoppers and terrestrials out there still. There's a good thunder thighs hopper right there. And then as far as droppers are concerned, you know, we're really focusing on, you know, a lot of red quills. You can go hopper copper dropper and put one of these larger droppers in the middle, about 18 to 20 inches below your dry. Here's your micro mayfly. That's Mike Mercer's pattern in red. Again, kind of a red quill imitation. Shea Gunkel's Radiation Baetis has been one of our more productive patterns, and that's in the orange. Okay. Shea Gunkel, again, Umpqua designer. His Shot Glass Baetis in the brown coloration. Great fly with the red bead in the thorax. Another red quill imitation that's just a fantastic fly is Rick Takahashi's go-to pheasant tail. Kind of a soft tackle imitation there. The hot-bellied pheasant tail and with the orange trigger color in the thorax. Great fly. Okay, so that kind of covers your red quill bead heads there. And then, you know, a lot of yellow sallies in the water column still, and fish are really feeding heavily on yellow sallies. Your gold copper john, size 12-14. Your iron sallies, one of our favorites. Heavy, gets down, great fly. Okay. And poxy back hare's ear. This poxy back hare's ear has been one of our go-to flies all summer, still producing as a great yellow sally imitation. And then still, you know, like I said, a lot of caddis out there. The GTI caddis and the net builder caddis have been great. Here's the GTI. And we'll see a lot of olive and tan caddis out there through the month of September, and also October caddis, the big ones, size 8 to 12, starting to hatch. Pale morning duns, poxyback PMD, Mike Mercer's pattern, has been fishing just lights out all summer. That's a great dropper there. The trigger nymph PMD, the biot body, another just fantastic fly. A lot of tricos out there right now. We're fishing tricos throughout the life cycle. If there's a lot of tricos in the air and not fish up to them, we like to fish the trico nymphs under a dry. That's called the magic fly right there. Trico nymph. Beadhead. Also the black 2-bit hooker. Great fly. Okay, so there's some beadheads you can work with. Like I said, we like to run some of the larger ones, maybe the red quills, caddis, yellow sallies in the middle in the copper position, and then a dropper could be a trico nymph, could be a PMD nymph, could be another red quill nymph, could be something like that. We are nymphing a little bit, obviously, you know, talking about fishing more broken water, more oxygenated water. So throwing one of those beadheads that we just discussed under a stonefly. Fish are just all over stonefly nymphs right now. The rubber legs in all colors are great. That's the brown one. Tied here locally, we've got gold ones, we've got, you know, red ones, we've got all kinds of stuff here. 20-incher, also tied locally by Larry Kingery. Fantastic fly, super heavy, great fly right now. Biot epoxy stone in the gold and the brown. And the tungstone, John Barr's, great fly, fishing really well right now. So you can drop any of those beadheads under a big stone fly and go a little bit deeper during that, you know, maybe 11 o'clock to 1 window, and do really well in, you know, tail outs, more oxygenated broken water. As far as hatch matching dries are concerned, like I said, we've got so many hatches going on right now. We've got tricos, we've got red quills, we've got caddis, we've got pale morning duns, we've got drakes, and we'll see a lot more drakes as well. We will see blue-winged olives start to hatch here in September. We see a huge reoccurrence in blue-winged olives like we do in the spring. Ton of blue wings. So, but currently we're really focusing on caddis, pale morning duns, and red quills, along with some trichos. Let's look at those little trichos first. You'll see a spinner fall in the morning and the evening. This is the chubby tricho spinner. That's a size 20, okay, pretty hard to see, but chubby tricho is great, size 20 and 22, okay. The sprout tricho is going to be your adult. You'll see those hatching throughout the day. Parachute. Moving into red quills, the adult, going to be a variety of patterns, but the two that we really love, number one, the high vis red quill. We have those in several parachute colors as well. And then the ginger quill, which is the more traditional quill. Okay. And then your spinners, and you'll see red quill spinners in the morning and in the evening. Your crystal spinner. Great, great fly. Okay. And then your quill-bodied spinner. And this is tied by Larry Kingery locally. Has been really the breadwinner as far as the spinners are concerned. Quill body. Okay. Still a ton of pale morning duns on the water, like I said. CDC Cripple, pale morning dun, one of my better flies, size 16 and 18. Sprout, PMD, great fly. Okay. Caddis. Still a lot of olive and tan caddis out there. One that covers both faces, the Feast Beast, size 16. Also the Crime Scene caddis, size 16. Like I said, we will see some October caddis begin to hatch and become present out there. And that's your big October caddis, orange body. Okay. We tie those in foam, hair bodies as well. Okay, streamers. Ton of great streamer fishing out there right now. Highly recommend that you try it. You have to be fairly committed to fishing it. Okay, you can't move in and out of streamer fishing, dry, nymphing. It's just not the most productive doing that. So a lot of times what we recommend is taking a second rod with a streamer rig, or fishing a dry dropper rig up and fishing a streamer back on an entire section. Streamers can be just fantastic. We always run tandem here. We run a big attractor streamer up front and a trailer underneath. Okay. What we love up front is black and tan right now as an attractor. Okay. This is the Baby Gonga, new fly for this year from Charlie Craven, articulated. Great fly for black. Another one of Charlie Craven's flies. Dirty Hippie. Okay. Great rainbow trout imitation. Okay. Brown trout imitation, etc. Underneath, we like to run John Barr's Bowface. That's an olive one. Here's a black one. Okay. Those are trailers. Another good trailer is the Near Nuck Sculpin, olive and tan. Okay. And we're fishing those across and down, and if you're from a boat, fishing them in the pockets, okay, moving the fly rapidly. The key to streamer fishing is always being connected to the streamer, because those fish hit quickly, they hit hard. If you're not connected to the streamer, there's any slack line involved, you're going to miss that strike, maybe even not know it ever happened. So you always want to stay connected. If you're waiting, pretty much going to cast across, mend, let it sink a little bit, connect with the fly right away, let it swing, strip back, take a few steps, do the same thing. So a lot of fishing out there right now, and I've covered a lot of topics, a lot of rigs, and a lot of patterns. If you have any questions, please call us toll free 888-994-6743 or contact us directly via email info@royalgorgeanglers.com. September is one of our busiest months guide wise. So if you do want to get in on a guided trip on the Arkansas during this fantastic time period, please do give us a call, or you can even book online in our guided trips pane on our website. It's a great time to get out, learn a little bit about the river from a wading standpoint, especially, also from a float standpoint. A lot of great dry fly fishing, dry dropper fishing, and streamer fishing, obviously. And our guides can definitely show you the ropes on that stuff. We are open 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday, 7:30 a.m. through 1 p.m. on Sunday. Stop in the fly shop on your way up the river. Check our text reports that are updated daily. If there are any conditional changes, we'll notate them there. But great fishing. Expect fantastic fishing through the fall. From the last 2 weeks of August through September and into October. Come enjoy North America's longest gold medal river, the Arkansas. Let us know if you have any questions, and thanks so much for viewing.